It's funny, when I started this journey 2 years ago, I thought that creativity came from my camera. And over time, I've learned it's the person holding it. My photography journey began in Sheffield, where I was a law student at the time and I would take photos on the streets. I would go out often with my friends, taking shots. However, one of my other creative friends had gear that was far better than mine, and I used to think his work was so much more cinematic, everything looked sharper, and all of these issues really played a toll on my mind. And even though I loved some of my photos, not many of them were great, and I thought the issue was my camera. But the issue was, it was me. I had no idea what I wanted to say through my photos. Photography is a way of expressing your view of the world and how you see things. The realization of my limited mindset was something painful, but something that I had to overcome, and it's what began the new change towards my creative journey. It's a big hurdle you have to overcome, but there are ways you can do that. Now, the first one is you can go out and you can shoot at one focal length. So when you next go and take photos, whether you're shooting on a prime 35 or if you're shooting on a zoom at 24-70, if you're shooting on a zoom, stick it to 35mm and shoot entirely at one focal length. When you shoot on a prime, you rely on yourself and your own movement to go and capture shots. You get creative with your compositions, you dedicate your eye to a certain focal length, which means you see things in a new way, rather than having a zoom where you can just zoom in and out. Also, it means you're fixed. Some points you want to just go from 35 to 70, well no, you can only use the 35, so you've got to make something happen, which means you have to force your own creativity out of you, and you can get some banger shots along the way. Another big thing is that preparation is key for photography, and you could argue that most of photography or skill or a great photo is just the fact that you are in the position to get the photo, not that you have the best gear to do it. And if you start viewing your creative journey like this, basically I'm encouraging you to get outside more and go and take photos. There's all these little moments that where you could have your camera and add an extra touch to build on your creative freedom and eye. But if you're shooting all the time, whether it's in light, nighttime, inside, outdoors, it means you are slowly just building all these ideas, shooting in different contexts. So then when it comes to even professional jobs, you have such an array of understanding of how photography works. My prime example is that when I first began, I shot loads for a nightclub. This is during my student days, and don't get me wrong, I don't think I'll ever do this again, but I don't mind doing an event every now and then, like a big one. I shot Boiler Room recently, but the best thing about event photography, especially nights, is well, this certain venue, the lighting was based off of strobes. So all the shooting I did, it was all timed. I wasn't allowed to use a flash, so this meant I had to look at people and recognize, okay, when are they gonna put their hands up when they're raving? Who's the ones having fun? Who's the ones I'm gonna be able to get a nice photo of? But the main thing is that the photos had to feel candid and storytelling-esque. Not that I'm forcing going, oh, I do want a photo with my flash. You know, it's me picking out the moments, and from that, I've then been able to put that in my street photography, doing commercial shoots and finding those candid moments, as well as travel photography. It really just makes you look around and really appreciate the world and look into things deeper. My whole first year of photography, I shot on my Sony a7 III with a kit lens. And in that time, I got to shoot jobs. I shot for a football team, which was super fun. I got to shoot for a model. I got to shoot at different hotels. And bear in mind, this is all on a kit lens. The main part of photography is you, the person behind it, and you being in control of the settings. And from there, you can make some crispy work. Consistency is your answer to all your creative needs. Editing, posting, getting clients, finding new jobs. Your approach to this, if it is consistent and you keep throwing darts at the wall, I promise you, you have no boundaries to stop you. Why do I say this? Well, I feel like a common theme is so many people ask me, what gear should I use? Where should I shoot? What should I shoot on? How should I do it? But the best way to do the thing is by doing the thing. And the best photographers you know, they don't look for inspiration. they find it through their consistency. I remember when I first moved to London, I was working in a full-time job as well as doing all my photography on the side. For weeks, I wouldn't go out and I wouldn't shoot. And then when I come back to it, I'd be sloppy, things would be slower, I wouldn't enjoy it as much, things feel forced. And my growth stalled because I treated my photography like a mood and not a muscle. If you can be in a bad mood for no reason, then you can be in a good mood for no reason. You've got to get out there, you've got to shoot. Regardless of your mood, you've got to create. And from that, you'll build your reps, you'll build your consistency, and then you will just develop across the board. It also means when you have to shoot for clients or shoot back to back, you want to shoot yourself, but across a prolonged period of time, you've built up such a stack of evidence that you can shoot again and again and again, that you're just going to enjoy it. It's like a muscle. The consistency will help you improve. Because trust me, doing the thing is much better than just sitting on the fence. And a lot of people love to sit on the fence. It's by creating a system that allows me to repeat these things effortlessly. My favorite thing to do is get out with other creators, especially in London. It's such a busy city, but it can literally just be as easy as sending a creator message online, hopping out with them, going to shoot. Happy days. From there, not only are you building your skills, you're building a connection, but you're building skills that you can learn from the other photographers. Building on this idea of consistency, it leads you away from perfection. Don't get me wrong, most photographers are perfectionists, but the ones who post the most and the ones who you see all their work, I guarantee you there are 100,000 more photos than the ones we see online. I'm definitely a victim of it. I do not post all my photos. I actually post a lot of the same photos with different contexts again and again because they are the ones I love. But when I show people the bank I have of them, they're like, oh, why don't you post these? And it's because I personally just don't want them out there.
God of the birds. Birdies. I got him. He's asleep.
The more proof you have of all the photos you've taken, the more you can then go out and post and create. Above all of this, when you get 6 months ahead and then you get a year ahead, and now you look back for myself, I'm nearly 3 years in of taking photos. If I could put a number on how many days I've gone out or just taken photos, I'd argue it would be a very high number. But it's now, I look back and I just go, where has all that time gone? But I've just developed all these skills, kind of without even thinking of it. And I've now been able to develop my own style, develop my own colors, be able to really put storytelling into all of my work. And it's allowed my work across the board, whether it's personal or for clients, to improve. So whenever I then have to go and shoot for a new client, I'm already getting the reps in with all my street photography and my travel photography, and then shooting on top of it my commercial stuff. It means I can walk up to the client, I can be confident, I can discuss with them, and from there, you can present them with some sweet work. Finally, collaboration is your shortcut to growth. My first couple months, I shot entirely alone. Don't get me wrong, I had YouTube. It was amazing to learn from. But the biggest growth happens when you create with people, not just for people. At the end of the day, photography now is a big thing, and it's especially big, you have to be on social media to grow. But the funniest part that is overlooked is that if it's on social media, the first part of social media, the word is social. The best part of building your business, your growth, your account, your skills is being social. Through other people, you can then grow yourself. I've been very fortunate. I've met creators across the world. I've shot with a gentleman called Jason. I've shot with a guy called Bodan. Shot with my friend Alex, shot with my new friend Chris, who I messaged the other day, shot with my other new friend Daniel. And these are across the last couple months where they've either messaged me or I've messaged them, and we've just hopped out, made some stuff together, collaborated on stuff, being able to pick each other's brains, and inevitably it has helped me grow as a creator and photographer. Don't get me wrong, I used to protect my ideas, but I realized that creativity multiplies when you share your ideas and you do not gatekeep. It is so important for you to work with other people. It is a collaborative, creative space. And the best part about shooting with other people in real life is you can literally see what they're shooting and you can ask them, okay, why'd you shoot that? What's your thought process? How have you thought of that? It's literally direct feedback. It's like a one-on-one session. Instead, you're just friends having fun. So you're making learning fun and you're still shooting and getting your reps in, but you're also doing it with other people, so your creative network is growing. And from there, all these 4 things will help you become more successful as a photographer. My prime example is my vision series. I've created over 100 videos and we're now going for 200, where I've just done photography tutorials all around the world. And I've been able to do them with my friends and solo. From that, I've created a video bank, a photo bank. I've developed my skills. I mean, I've created over 100 videos. I've done it 100 times. And don't get me wrong, probably 100 of these videos may suck, but the next 50 will be better. And from there, you keep going, you improve, you develop your skills. And from every connection, it added momentum. And with momentum can come endless results. And even if things do get stagnant, you still have all the evidence in the back, acts as a portfolio for yourself. It's a massive online CV. And if you take one thing from this, please, don't wait for the perfect gear. Don't wait for the perfect timing. Start with what you have now, work with those around you, and put the reps in. That's what actually works to learn photography.